Hey guys, PK Stefan from PK Digital here. Today we're going to talk about leveling up your PowerPoint game, a series of tips and tricks videos that I'm creating here. Today we're going to talk about the quick access toolbar. One of the things I love about PowerPoint is that it's customizable. And when you customize it, you can create a workflow that is so much more productive and efficient for the way that you work. The quick access toolbar is a quick and easy way to increase your productivity. So let's take a look. So by default, the quick access toolbar in PowerPoint is in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. If you look for the PowerPoint icon right next to it, you'll see a series of icons. That's your quick access toolbar. Right next to that is a drop-down menu button. If we click on that, we'll see towards the bottom of that list, show below ribbon. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to move the quick access toolbar below the ribbon. This is something you can do on the PC. On the Mac, ever since Microsoft 365, you're not able to move the position of the toolbar, unfortunately. But on the PC, you can. We'll next click on the drop-down menu and choose More Commands, which was right next to the command that we just chose. And that'll bring up this dialog box. This dialog box is where we're able to customize the quick access toolbar. If there was something that I wanted to move from this list of commands over to my toolbar, which shows in the right-hand pane, I can select that tool, click Add, and now that is a part of my quick access toolbar. Pay attention to the ordering of this list. Whatever's on the bottom of the list is going to show up on the right-hand side of your toolbar, which is, a place that's easier for you to be able to get to. It's much easier to click on this if it's on the bottom of the list because it'll be to the right of the toolbar. Whatever's at the top is going to be on the left-hand side of the toolbar. You can rearrange these by clicking the arrow button, and that will allow you to then reorder this list and move things around on the toolbar. In our case, and we can also remove it as well if we want to. So I just got rid of cut. It's back where it was. In our case, we're not going to play too much with customizing this, but there are some great commands here if you want to modify what I give you, because I'm going to share with you my PowerPoint toolbar. There'll be a link in the comments for this video. One thing also I wanted you to look at here is I forget that when you go into this dialog box, sometimes that it's the popular commands, and that's not the full list of commands. We can actually choose all commands here, and you'll see how this list on the left gets so much bigger. Watch this change. Okay, and once that populates, you can see now we have a ton of commands that we didn't have before. And it's surprising, some of the commands in here, they're things that you would not think that PowerPoint can do. So switch it to all commands and you'll get all of those commands. You also need to do this sometimes because you may not be able to find the command that you want in popular commands. And PowerPoint will sometimes add a modifying word to the command, and you'll have to scroll through the whole list. So if I'm looking for copy, there may be some word before it that PowerPoint uses to modify that button, and so it's not just copy, and it's not in alphabetical order. So you have to scroll through this all commands list, which is a lot sometimes, but that's the only way to find certain commands. If it's a really important command for you, you're going to have to go into all commands. If that's too many, and let's say, for example, there's a command that you want in the Home tab, you can choose from other lists here. There's a bunch of different lists, so I could find it in the Home tab. Let's say I was looking for the Align Right button. I could then add that to my list, and I know that's in the Home tab. So it's a quick and easy way to find things, shifting to something other than popular commands, either all commands or one of these other options. In our case, we're actually going to not worry about this list here, modifying it. We're going to import the file that I've shared with you, which is my custom toolbar. In my case, this custom toolbar is out on my OneDrive. So I'm going to scroll down. I think it's at the bottom there. Yes, there it is. Click Open. PowerPoint at this time will bring up a dialog box and say, "Are you sure you want to erase this list that's on the right here? We really haven't spent any time with this, so we're not worried about that. We're going to replace it with the list that we just imported," and say yes. And you'll see now the toolbar has come in. Click OK, and you can see all of the different tools that we've got here. Now, you may need to modify these, and so, clicking on this drop-down menu and choose more commands and going back into this dialog box is how you can modify it for your workflow. It could be that you need more text tools that I have, or you may need more image editing buttons than I've got. So you can modify to your heart's content using that more command dialog box. And when you do that, I would also make sure that if you've got a list that you really like, make sure you back it up by doing an export all customizations and save it somewhere safe in case your PC crashes or in case you want to share it with someone else. Then you can export your toolbar and share that goodness with everyone else. So let's look at some of the things that we can do with a quick access toolbar and show you why this is quick. If I wanted to align these circles, I can quickly align them. If I wanted to distribute them, I can quickly distribute them. Let's say I wanted to group them so I can then center it in the middle of my slide, both horizontally and vertically. I've achieved that in just a matter of clicks. I can now ungroup. Let's say one of these shapes I wanted to change up for variety. I've got a change shape tool here, which will allow me to quickly change that into a square. So now I've got two circles and a square. You can switch this, or let's say if I had a series of circles here and I found that the text that I was putting into my circles didn't quite fit and I needed a bit more room and a square or rectangle was going to do that, I can quickly change all of those at once with this change shape button to a square. I can change them. If I'm doing different layouts and I want to play with it, I could change them to down arrows. I can change them to a number of different things. If I wanted something different, I could go with a completely different shape. So it allows you to quickly change shapes, which is a handy feature when you're doing different layouts. If I wanted to add in another shape, I can go up here to the shape button, and I could, let's say I wanted to add in, a triangle. We'll make that blue triangle. I can make that whatever color I want here by choosing the fill color. And now, if I wanted to, I can make sure these are distributed. I can group them. I can align them. And that should be aligned to the center of the page. And we are set. So you can see how quickly I can add things. I can modify things, change things without going into the ribbon. If I was in the review tab here and I needed to go to draw to find that shape and I wanted to, home, and I wanted to add in that triangle, you see I have to move around the screen. I have to click on the different ribbon tabs. You also see that I've reduced my ribbon to just the words. I'm hiding the ribbon. And I'm able to do that because most of my commands that I use here are in the toolbar. So yeah, let's look at some other things that we can do with it. Text, if I wanted to go in and change this, there are keyboard shortcuts that will do some of these things. And in some cases, it's much quicker to do with a keyboard shortcut. And that'll probably be another video. But to show you how I could quickly change this, let's say I wanted this to be my headline for this page here on the left. I could align this with the bottom, and then I'll align it with the top to make sure those two are aligned. The spacing on this looks a little bit tight, so I'm going to go into line spacing. And, oh yeah, it's set to multiple, so I'll set this to single. And just so you can see before and after. So that opened it up. Let's say I wanted to have some white space. I didn't want to use bullets, and I wanted to create even more white space. I'll go to 1.5 now. And we can see the difference between that. Now I'm at 1.5. And also, again, something you can do with a keyboard shortcut, but the format painter is right here. I can pick up the color of that text and apply it to another bit of text. If you wanted to do that with a keyboard shortcut, just pro tip here, it's Control-Shift-C to copy the style of this text, and then Control-Shift-V. But sometimes, again, it's quicker to click on the toolbar to get to that. It's always good to have multiple different ways of approaching the way that you work. Image editing. I could go in here and I could select this image And I could use the change shape to create, let's say I wanted to make an oval. If I wasn't keen on that and I wanted it to be a circle, I've got the aspect ratio tool right here, and I can switch that to 1:1. And I've now got a circle. Um, but let's back up a couple steps here. What if I wanted to have a different center point for my composition here? I could go to the shape tool and I will draw circle right here, and you can see where that circle is landing. Let's say I wanted to have it just slightly off center here. I could select my photo, select my circle, which is going to be the mask for this image, and go up to merge shapes. And all I have to do is choose intersect, and it will create the sum of those two. And you can see, because the photo was behind, it's now created that as the new center point. And I can align that to my slide using those tools. So quite a bit of functionality there. And if I needed to resize this, let's say I wanted it to be much bigger on the slide here, again, I can align that quickly. Again, these are things it can do with keyboard shortcuts, but sometimes it's just quicker to have it as part of your toolbar. And the fact that we're not diving into this ribbon bar and moving around back and forth and hunting and pecking for things, we've got them right up there, and you'll learn where the position of those are. You can see how much that can increase your productivity and your efficiency in PowerPoint. When it comes to doing this on a Mac, it's a bit more complicated. As I said, the quick access toolbar, I think it's still up in the upper left-hand corner. I have a Mac laptop that I'm dual platform. I have a PC and a Mac. On my Mac, what I've done is I've just gone in and edited the quick access toolbar using that dialog box and created my own toolbar. It's a bit more complicated to import a custom toolbar from somebody else. Bright Carbon has created a knockout blog and video where they show you how to find the preferences folder and what that file name should be and how to drop it in. They even provide a toolbar for the Mac. So I would highly recommend that you stop the video and grab this URL. Maybe I'll drop this in the comments as well. If you're on a Mac, you can still be using the quick access toolbar. It's got some limitations to it, but it's still powerful. And Bright Carbon has done a good job of doing that in the video and blog format. So I hope you found this useful, and I hope that you've learned a few things about how you can work in PowerPoint. There's lots of different ways we can level up our game. I look forward to creating some more videos, and thank you very much for joining. Cheers.